Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever snapped at someone and immediately regretted it? Like you ever sit alone thinking, why did I let that get to me so much? Yeah, me too. We're emotional creatures, wired to react. But if you're tired of feeling hijacked by your own emotions, then this one's for you. Welcome back to Hard Truths, the place where we strip back the noise, challenge the way you think, and talk about the things that are really holding you back. And today, we're diving deep into emotional reactivity. Because here's the truth. You can't master your life until you've learned to master your reactions. Let's get into it. We live in an age of constant stimulus. Your phone buzzes. Your boss emails you at 9 p.m. Your feed shows a war 1 second and a meme the next. See, we're overloaded. Neuroscientist Dr. Lisa Fieldman Barrett says it best. The brain is a prediction machine. Think of it like a weather forecaster. It consistently scans the environment, gathering data and trying to predict what emotional storm might be coming next. But when it gets overwhelmed, just like a forecast thrown off by a sudden heat wave, your brain jumps to conclusions and prepares for danger before it really understands what's happening. See, it scans, it guesses, it prepares, but when it's under stress, it doesn't think, it just reacts. This is where your amygdala, the brain's fear center, comes in hot. When it senses threats, it hijacks your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain responsible for decision making, rational thinking, and impulse control. So instead of responding with logic, we react with instinct. This is why you snap at your partner over a simple question, or blow up at a coworker over a minor comment. The response doesn't match the moment because your brain thinks it's under attack. It's not just poor judgment, it's neuroscience. It's called the amygdala hijack. And most of us are walking around hijacked 24/7. But here's the twist. Modern threats aren't predators. They're social media comments, performance reviews, or silence from someone we texted. In fact, studies from Stanford University found that constant exposure to digital stimuli can increase cortisol levels, the stress hormone, by up to 30%, leading to chronic fight or flight states. That's why we're tired. That's why we're burnt out. That's why emotional control isn't a luxury. It's survival in this modern age. And if you're feeling drained by this, you're not alone. Your nervous system wasn't built for this kind of chaos. So how do we stop the chaos? We start by identifying our emotional landmines, our triggers. Have you ever noticed how it's always that person or that time of day or that tone of voice? These aren't random. These are patterns, and your body keeps that score. So start a journal. Write down what happened, how you felt, and what you did. Over time, your triggers will show up like red flags on a map. Dr. Daniel Goleman, the guy who literally wrote the book Emotional Intelligence, says self-awareness is the cornerstone of self-mastery. You can't change what you won't name. And don't just wait for meltdowns. Start noticing micro reactions, like when your shoulders are tense or your tone shifts. Emotional reactivity is sneaky. Sometimes it's loud. Sometimes it's just shutting down, checking out, or quietly resenting. And you know what's wild? Your brain actually links these triggers with specific memory patterns. According to the Journal of Neuroscience, reoccurring emotional responses often stem from limbic loops, learned responses stored in the emotional centers of the brain. See, awareness isn't just clarity, it's power. It's the first step in breaking that loop. Okay, now you've spotted the pattern. What's next? Let's talk tools. First, breathe. This one's important. I know it sounds cliche, but deep, slow breathing literally shifts your nervous system from fight or flight to rest and digest. It sends a signal to your brain, we're okay. So try this, the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8 seconds. Do it 3 times. And I want you to notice the shift. Trust me. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. Here's a second thing I do. It's called grounding. And this one's completely underrated. How you do this is you look around. You name 5 things you can see. You name 4 things you can touch. You name 3 things you can hear. 2 things you can smell. And 1 thing you can taste. See, it brings you back to the moment. It snaps you out of the storm and into reality. And lastly, mindfulness meditation. Even 5 minutes a day helps. See, MRI scans from a study at Harvard show that regular meditation shrinks the amygdala and strengthens the prefrontal cortex. So you're literally reshaping your brain. This isn't fluff. This is biological empowerment. This is rewiring your nervous system so that it doesn't auto-react to everything like a ticking time bomb. These aren't hacks. They're simply habits. And they work if you do them consistently. So once you're calm, it's time to reframe. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, teaches us this. Your thoughts don't just describe your reality, they create it. Think about that. Your thoughts become your emotion, which become your reaction. If you believe they did that on purpose, you'll feel attacked. If you think maybe they're just overwhelmed, you'll feel compassion. Same moment, different meaning, different emotion. So ask yourself, is this true or is this my fear talking? Start being your own mental editor. Challenge your thoughts like a lawyer cross-examining a witness, and adopt a growth mindset. Like Dr. Carl Dweck suggests, instead of I'm terrible at this, try I'm learning. Instead of I always overreact, try I'm learning to respond. And remember what Viktor Frankl said. This quote changed my life. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space, that's where freedom lives. Let's take a step back. This isn't about not yelling or crying in meetings. This is leadership. This is legacy. Harvard research shows emotional intelligence beats raw IQ in leadership, performance, and life satisfaction. You want to be magnetic? Calm is magnetic. You want to be respected? Self-control is power. You want to be free? Learn to pause. See, emotional intelligence doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't let those feelings drive the car. It's the difference between reacting and responding, between chaos and clarity. And in a world addicted to speed and outrage, you become the calm in the storm. This is the hidden skill that separates the stuck from the unstoppable. And it's available to you today, right now, with practice. So let me say this clearly. You are not broken. You are not too emotional. You are a human being with a powerful mind, and you can train it. Start by observing, then by pausing, then by choosing. Because the world doesn't need more reactors, it needs more responders. The ones who can hold steady in chaos, who can lead while others panic, who can choose grace when anger is easier. So, what's one trigger you're ready to take back control over this week? Tag me at Danny Livin, DANNYLYVIN. I want to hear what you're building. And remember, feel deeply, pause bravely, and lead intentionally. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.